Hi, my name is Julia, and I am the Rawesome vegan on Tumblr. I promised you guys in a post that I would be answering any questions that you would flood into my inbox. So here's the first question that I got, and I thought that it was so big and broad of a question that I should answer it only in one video. The question that I got was, what is the easiest or the best way to transition from a vegetarian diet to a vegan diet? Now, before I get into how to do that, I'm going to explain to you what veganism is. Now, most people think that veganism is a choice of a diet, but actually it has so many more implications on your lifestyle than that. It actually has to do with an ethical or moral conviction that animal slavery is wrong, that nobody should do it, and it's not a personal choice. It's actually taking a stance that animal abuse and cruelty and any form of speciesism is wrong and it should not be practiced by humans. Also, veganism believes in living a lifestyle devoid of all animal products, whether you wear it, whether you eat it, or do you use it. That even goes for animal testing. So, just because you're eating no animal products doesn't mean you're vegan. It means you might be a vegetarian on a diet. So before that opens up a whole another thing. Transition diets. Okay, here's how you would do it. Okay, I'm not making this video just for a vegetarian wanting to go vegan, but I'm also making it for the people who are not familiar with veganism or who are on a standard American diet, which includes meat, how to become a vegan. Okay, so the first thing you have to do, rule number one, is to evaluate what you already eat. You have to be honest with yourself and you have to see what you eat the most of to what you eat the least of, and which is most important nutritionally for your diet. Most people on average consume a heck of a lot of junk food. And as someone who's into, food nutrition, I don't ever condone people eating junk food, but that's a personal preference. So probably the easiest thing to become a vegan is to either cut junk food all the way out of your life, or you have to switch to a vegan alternative. Most packaged foods, label their ingredients, and a lot of them have a vegan symbol depending on what grocery store you go to. I personally shop at Trader Joe's, Whole Foods, Wild by Nature, and their stuff is usually marked pretty well on what it is. So the first thing to transition is everybody likes to have a snack, so make sure your snacks are vegan. Number two, um, the easiest thing as a health food person is knowing about digestion, because a lot of people go vegan because of health reasons, which is okay, but I don't like the diet aspect of veganism. I like the whole package. But as a dieter, here's what you have to realize: which foods, take the most time to digest, and which foods take the least to digest. Now, if you're transitioning to a diet, everybody knows that meat is harder to digest than cheese or milk. So the first thing you should get rid of out of your diet is the cheese and the milk. We have so many alternatives for them, it shouldn't be that huge a problem. It's mostly addiction that keeps people drinking the milk, or traditions, or all kinds of things, like you were raised on it, so it's like conditioned to like it. The easiest thing is to first switch your milk out. So when you're just beginning on veganism, just switch your milk out to an alternative. I particularly like almond milk the best. Some people like soy, some people like hemp. They're all good. So the first thing you should do is switch out the milk. So you'll be doing that for like a good month and you'll get comfortable and that'll become your new normal. The next thing you should do is cut out all the cheese. So if that means that you probably won't be eating pizza anymore, that's the way it's going to be. So you're either going to have to get a cheese alternative, which they have plenty of, but be careful because a lot of soy cheeses still have lactose or casein in it, which is a dairy derivative. So be careful, make sure it's labeled vegan because sometimes they can trick you. I know it sucks, but that happens. So the second thing you should do is switch out for cheese, and the last thing to go out of your diet should be meat because it's the hardest to digest and it's the most straining on the body, and it's very prevalent in the American diet. So all in all, you should cut out meat the last, and that should be good for you. And this whole period of transitioning should go on for at least 6 months. Anything over that, then you're just not serious about it. I know so many vegans that went cold tofurkey on their veganism and they went from a standard American diet to a vegan diet overnight. I mean, I've heard some crazy stories that people have had some detox symptoms, some breakouts, acne, all these types of like little symptoms of a detox. That's completely normal because a lot of all the products sold in supermarkets are not like the real thing. It's like processed cow's milk, processed. There's so many drugs, hormones, herbicides, pesticides. So it's normal for your body to be like detoxing the craziness out of your system. That's why I always say go slowly because you don't want crazy detox symptoms because it could be bad for your health. I didn't experience that, and I thought I was probably the craziest standard American diet eater, and nothing crazy happened to me. Um, but if you're really worried about it, you should go to your doctor and get a full blood work examination, which will test your B vitamins. I happen to be deficient in vitamin D, so get that checked out because vitamin D is in dairy products and you get it from meat. But what you don't know is you get way more vitamin D. Just go outside. That's not a big deal. It's just it's a sun food thing. So get your blood work checked out if you're really concerned about going vegan from whatever your diet was previously. Something also to be careful of is just check your packaging to make sure it's truly vegan. Eat simply so you don't get confused on what you're eating that's not vegan and vegan. Always have your pantry stocked. You don't want to have these weird cravings. Always have that alternative so you don't fall back into your old ways. And the last thing that I would have to say about a transition to veganism is know your shit. Know why you're a vegan and believe in it. Watch Earthlings, watch Food Inc., watch crazy propaganda because in the end of the day, so many people have food addictions that they're just gonna be like, oh, screw it, I'm gonna have the chocolate. Screw it, I'm gonna have the ice cream. Because there's no real conviction within you saying, no, don't do that. If you actually believe that eating animals is wrong, that abusing them, using them for your own purposes, if you see the selfishness of it, then you're gonna want to turn vegan. So make sure you really have a connection on why you want to become a vegan, and it'll be easier for you. Another thing, people ask me what kind of books should I read? Are there any good books on how to go vegan as far as the diet goes? Honestly, I have awesome books that I love that are raw vegan, but most people do not want to go raw. But I haven't had any good books to recommend that are for cooked vegans or just normal vegan diets that are transitional. Like they'll say, do this one day, like a 12-step program. I haven't found one. It's a bummer. I don't even know what to tell you, but if I said was helpful, then you don't need a book. But people are telling me that the Skinny Bitch series is good. My personal favorite authors are Paul Neeson, David Wolfe, Matt Monarch, and his wife Angela Stokes. Um, but those are pretty much raw authors. So, um, another thing, always get a vegan cookbook. I hear Veganomics is a good one, and there's just so many in Barnes and Noble that you can just pick from. So, hope that answered your question.